before jumping right into the year-on-year growth rates, let's freeze the panes for the EBIT tab as we did for the model tab. So what we want to do is we want to go to cell H12 and we're simply going to press Alt W F to freeze panes. Right, so first we're going to copy the section divider, so that's the Shift space, Control C. Let's come down here and Control V or Control plus, whichever you prefer. And the names would be year on, actually, let's name it Revenue Analysis. Revenue growth analysis. So we're going to calculate revenue growth for all of these items. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy the entire model structure and paste it below. And we're just simply going to change the total revenue name to year-on-year growth. Now, we can't calculate the growth rate for 2018 because we don't have the 2017 numbers. So we do have to start from 2019, and the formula is relatively simple. You always divide the latter number by the former. So in other words, we divide 2019 by 2018 and then -1. Just in case we have problems with math. This is going to be the formula you use for growth rates going forward. If you press enter, it's going to be in decimal points. So we want to convert this to percentage formats. So Control Shift 5, if you press it at the same time, will do the trick. And we also want to increase 1 decimal point, so it's Alt H0 to add a decimal point. Let's shift it to the right by pressing Control R, and of course we can shift it to the bottom by pressing Control down, Control D. So once we know Control R and Control D functions, it's not a very time-consuming task to do this. We just need some final touches for formatting. So let's select the entire row, Shift space, and usually for percentage rates, we tilt the numbers. And some people also tilt the item names as well. So we've tilted the numbers. And in addition to that, what we want to do is we want to also highlight some of the rows as we did above. So Shift space, Control B, and we've highlighted the total year-on-year growth and the growth rates for the product level revenue. Right? And one additional thing that we also want to make is the compound annual growth rate. There are different ways to calculate compound annual growth rate, but we are going to use the rate function for calculating CAGR. So let's create a formula equal rate RATE and then use the tab key. So in order to calculate compound annual growth rate, the first component of this formula is how many years of CAGR are you going to calculate. So from 2018 to 2023 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 years of CAGR. So we simply input the number 5 The second component, we simply put in zeros. The third component, we want to select the beginning year of the compound annual growth rate. But the trick here is that we have to add a minus sign on the front and then select the starting year, comma, and lastly the ending year, which in this case is 2023. This is all we have to do. No pressure on memorizing the formula. This will come up several times during our 101 course. And if you're comfortable with the formula you already know, if you have an alternative approach to calculating CAGR, it's definitely okay to use that. But personally, I find this much more easy to use. So we're going to go with that at this moment. Again, let's press Ctrl+Shift+5 to change to a percentage format, Alt+H0 to add decimal points, and Control down to fill up every single row. Some final formatting, Control-I to tilt, and we want to convert our highlighted numbers back to its original format. So Control-B once again does the trick. So that's it for the growth rates. We've calculated year-on-year growth rates, and we've also calculated compound annual growth rates. So from now on, what I recommend you to do, and I do this with our offline class students every single time we do Financial Modeling 101, please take 5 or 10 minutes to look over the numbers. So we have the actual numbers, we have compound annual growth rate, we have year-on-year growth rates. Look at these numbers, and I want you to conclude by only looking at these numbers whether this company looks like an attractive target to invest in. So would you invest in this company by just looking at the revenue, or would you not invest? And you, of course, need to have reason for that. Let's try to figure out what are some of the points that look good in this company. What are some of the points that makes you worried? Yes, let's come back just in a couple of minutes and we'll try to go through together.